Yo, all right, I know you guys seen this title or this thumbnail. You were like, hey, what the fuck is this guy even talking about? Listen. I am a professional gooner. I've done my research, I've done Google searches. I went to websites, I contradicted website versus website. I went to Reddit posts. I seen confessions from actual real gooners. And then I went to Twitter. I did the same thing. So I'm really a professional gooner. Okay. I can answer mostly any question about gooning that you guys ask me. But let's get straight into this video. As a man, you clicked on this video and you were like, hey, what is gooning? Well, I'm here to tell you. A lot of people say that they go and masturbate and they call masturbating gooning. Gooning isn't masturbating, but masturbating isn't gooning, but gooning is technically masturbating. See, now gooning is an extended period of masturbation that is just a prolonged level of edging. It doesn't have to be about, getting your orgasm off, but it does have to be about riding that wave of pleasure and trying to edge and feel good for as long as possible. That's the big difference. With masturbation, there's an end goal. With gooning, you could be doing this for around 3 to 4 hours straight. You might say, okay, so how do people goon? Why do people goon? And what negative effects does gooning have? Well, I hope I can answer all three of those things in this video. But we're going to rewind it all the way back to 2020 or your teen years, because that's where the real starts of the real cycle of masturbation starts. So let's rewind that clock real quick. All right, so here we guys. We're going to have this guy. We're going to call him Jared. Now he's a teen, and again, I know that as a teen you shouldn't be watching porn, but most of you guys as teens, you guys were fucking gooners watching porn, whether it be in the '90s, reading them porn magazines or them tapes, or now you watching porn mangas or hentais or Pornhub, all of that. Most of y'all was gooning. So we have this guy. He just found his first hub video. He did his little thing. I'm not gonna draw it because I'm gonna my video demonetized. I mean copyright. I mean restricted, and then I can't post this. But you guys know what I'm talking about. He did his little thing. He's happy, and he goes into the next day. And then now he wants to experience that feeling again. So he does a little thing again, and then his little thing again, and his little thing again. And then eventually he doesn't even realize that hey, he's been doing his little thing all over again. As we guys know recently, this new generation has been going through severe badness. Pregnancy rates have dropped. The male loneliness epidemic has risen. Um, People are still lacking social development skills that we should have gotten due to the years of COVID. And I know that COVID has lasted it's been 6 years now. People still complaining about COVID, just don't want to fix their life. They're using COVID as an excuse, okay? And you could fix your life. It might struggle, it might take you years, but you could turn it around, you could try to change it. And I know it might be hard, but you can do it. Now, all three of these factors, they might build up. And since this guy's getting no hoes, no bitches, and I'm not just saying this guy. A lot of people aren't. If we weren't, we wouldn't have a male loneliness epidemic. And he's low key just sad all the time. So in order to vent out his frustration for him getting no hoes, the only hoes that he can see is on the hub. He's watching the hub, he's beating it every day, every day. He just beat. He doesn't even realize that he's been beating every day or every other day, and he's addicted to beating his meat. You if you're beating your meat every day or every other day, you're addicted. Don't say anything. Now we get to the point where you get to these three hub categories. Now, one is POV, two is joys, and three is virtual sex. Now, these three categories will lead you down on the path of gooning, where it says extends visual stimulation, longing, edging, right? Now, these three categories all have subsects of joys in them. Now, joys isn't those categories, but they all have joy elements in them, if you get what I'm saying. Same thing with, the gooning and masturbation part. So now that this guy, he's into one of those three categories and he's doing some more freaky shit, his porn tolerance has gone up from him masturbating every day. So now he's starting to have to do more and more shit to get his nut off because, of how much he's been jacking off. So we started to do this more and more and more until eventually he gets on the path of gooning, trying to edge and edge and edge to ride that pleasure wave, to feel him with that euphoric, translucent state because of how high his tolerance has probably gotten from beating his dick every single day. Now, let's move on to the downsides real quick. Let me need my text option. So downsides of gooning, we have your body might be weak. Now, this isn't if you're doing your little 30-minute goon sessions. Most people, for extreme, intense gooners, it goes on for hours on end. So you're just jacking off for hours. Your body's going to get weak. Your penis might get sore, and you might get a little stressed out. You know, you might exclude from society and just start not developing your social skills. Secondly, you might exclude yourself from friends or work. Distance from friends or work. You're focusing so much on gooning, you're trying to escape your life by just masturbating all day, not having to deal with all this responsibility and just goon and goon and goon, that you're slacking on your work. You're not going to meet your friends. And I know some of you guys have probably experienced this before. Maybe you're talking to a friend, or maybe you were the friend, and your friend just leaves and he goes and jacks his shit, or you go and jack your shit instead of going to playing the game with your friend. You see the bad part in that? You just chose a temporary euphoric level of pleasure over a bonding moment with your friend. And when intense gooning sessions start to happen, those only get worse. Then we might have, like I already said this before, irritability, stress, and losing social skills. I mean, losing real connection. Now, obviously, you're going to get irritable. If you're just jacking your shit every day, obviously, you're going to get irritable. If you're just beating your dick every day, obviously, you're going to get stressed. But the one that you might be confused about is losing real connection. When you're gooning every day, you start to fathom yourselves with all these big boogly woogly boobas on your screen. It's just boobs, 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 boobs. All these girls probably they do all these enhancements, these plastic surgeries. You know, they try to enhance themselves so much because it's a job to them. Porn moves, porn scenes. Listen, if you've had sex before, you know the shit that you see in Pornhub isn't realistic. It's all an act so that people can watch it more and they get more likes and they get more money, right? You're starting to project all of these thoughts that you see on porn because you're gooning for hours and hours and hours on end on real women. And now that you're projecting all these thoughts onto real women, nothing a real woman ever does will be able to satisfy the things that you've seen into Pornhub. All right, now on to the next. We got guilt, shame, and worsening. Now, this is like a process. So right now, this guy, he's finally realized that he's a fucking chud. Okay, he's sitting in his room all day, jacking off, got no friends, probably dishes himself from his family, probably got a girlfriend either. So he's sitting in his room and he's like, I hate my life. Why did I do this to myself? Why me? So instead of trying to fix it, now what do you think happens? A, he tries to fix himself. B, he goes to the gym. C, he watches mental health videos online on how to fix himself. Or D, he works to escape from his problems and goes to jack off and good for like 4 hours straight. If you chose any of the other options, that's something you should do. And that's something he, if he wants to do, could probably do. But he probably goes to good. He just all the stress, all the guilt, everything that built up. And since he doesn't have anyone to rely on, since he has no other coping mechanisms, he just goes and goes and goes and goes. And especially with that nobody to rely on, I'm about to go onto that deeper with the new bringing up AI, right? With new AI coming and shit, that's what I'm about to fucking talk about. But he just goes, he jacks his shit because after you get to this level where you start distancing yourself from real women and start only focusing on the things that you see at the Pornhub, you go down two routes. Can I draw a line right here? Boom. So these are your two routes. A, you goon more and become peak gooner. This is honestly the better option for you. You still goon, but you're still at least talking to real women and you're still trying to fulfill your desires in a normal and passionate way. But here's the bad part. Let me go and draw something. I need to, okay, right here. How the fuck? Where's the drawing thing? Okay. I can't fucking draw. Oh, I have white on. Uh, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna call this girl. She's gonna be an emo chick. She's an emo bad bitch, right? But she, yeah, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You start talking to AI. Mm. People did a study. It said, actually, I could just look it up for you guys. All right, I just found it. How many teens are using AI? New study stands for researchers. In Common Sense Media survey, 31% of teens said their conversation with AI and companions were satisfying or more than satisfying than talking with real friends. Even though half of teens said they distrust AI device, 33% discuss serious or important issues with AI instead of real people. So as we've seen, people are starting to talk to AIs more than the other gender because it's more consistent, it's ease of use, they can do whatever they want, and everybody knows this. It's psychology, the entire existence of a therapist, because sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger than somebody you actually know and trust. So this girl right here, we call her Veronica. She's not real. This guy right here, we call him Jared. Now he's having these porn fantasies. The real girls, they're not kicking it anymore. He's so used to the porn because of all the gooning he's been doing. They start talking. He starts fulfilling all these weird things. Whenever he talks to this AI girl, he can go on for hours straight. The AI girl's gonna do whatever the fuck she wants to do for him. She's always gonna keep talking to him, do all these things, and he's gonna be completely fulfilled. He's might even fall in love with her. People have married ChatGPT now. There's been 2 studies of a girl marrying ChatGPT. Uh, He's doing all of this shit, and this is a bad thing. What we don't understand right now is AIs have no boundaries. They will do whatever the fuck you tell them to do, especially porn AIs. So now that he's talking to these AI bitches more than real girls, he's gonna stop understanding what it means to say no. All these AI girls, they say yes whenever they want. So it's either 2 options now. A, he said he does something with a girl, not knowing what consent is anymore because of all the shit with the AI girls. It says he's already excluded himself from society because of straight fucking gooning. And all these AI girls just say yes. He's not gonna take her no seriously. Or 2, he stops talking to girls completely. And he just fully goes AI. Because every time he talks to these AIs, they'll never say no to him. They'll never say no to him. And then the girls, they'll say no. So he's just gonna get confused. He's gonna get hurt. If these AI girls could just tell me, hey, I'll do whatever you want, but these real girls can't, it's gonna strike a bone in them, if you get what I'm saying. And then it just gets bad, and then we get another soul excluded from society. And it's just getting worse and worse every fucking day. Because the more and more they upgrade the AI, the better the AI gets, and the more in tune it could get with the character. If you guys know what Sesame AI is, it's this website where people can it's like this AI site where it tries to emulate emotional reaction. It'll laugh, it'll try to comfort you, it can read your emotional tone. So they're already trying to get better at it. And when this gets out to the public and people can actually start talking to women like this, what do you think is going to happen when a real girl rejects a guy? Is he A, going to try to improve himself? B, go and masturbate or goon? C, talk to this AI girl who understands him completely, he can vent to, and he'll comfort her and tell him whatever the fuck he wants to hear? Or D, wallow in his own misery? It's probably going to be to talk to the AI girl. Or he's probably going to go masturbate. One of those two. But it's really bad, guys. Hopefully you guys, if you're gooning, hopefully you feel better. Hopefully you get better. I understand that art was ass, whatever, but I don't really have anything else to say in this video. I'm probably gonna end this shit right now. If you enjoyed this video and you're a gooner, um, like and subscribe. I'm a gooner too. I'm probably gonna go masturbate as soon as this video is over. Well, all right, I got one more thing to say. It's just like Well, like, because listen, even if somebody tells you all this shit and somebody tells you how bad your life could get if you just stay in your room gooning all day and lose touch with humanity and just block yourself from society, yeah, you know that's bad. Yeah, you understand it. But if something's helped you through all your life, because you have to understand, you can look outside from it. You can look at a gooner and you can be like, hey, really should stop. It's really making you look worse. You know, you're breaking out. You know, your skin's getting bad. You know, all of this shit is happening, and you should probably just stop. But you could tell that to him, and Gooning has been there for him all of his life. Whenever he was sad, whenever he was depressed, whenever he didn't have any friends, whenever a girl rejected him, whenever it was 3 o'clock in the middle of the morning, whenever he needed to go to sleep, and I mean, it never got that bad for me, thank God. I did go in for like a couple of hours. You know, we don't need to talk about this, but all those things happen, and yeah, you see it from the outside, but to them, it's like you're trying to take the one thing away from them that probably saved their life. I mean, I know that crowd's crazy to say, but if they weren't gooning, if they had to go sit and stick with their thoughts and not escape from it by watching some porn, then they probably would have might have done some things to themselves. And by you trying to take that away from them, you're trying to like take something that's fundamentally rooted to their core. I know that sounds crazy to say that masturbating is rooted to their core, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. It's easier to look on it from the outside than look from it to the inside, man. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Shut the fuck up, Spades. All right, I'm gonna talk to you guys later, though. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe. If you try to quit, I hope the best for you, and I hope you genuinely become a better person. And goodbye, guys.